line. Yeah, he's got yeah.
He's been out running in his son with the wife beater on. Wow, what a round!
Let's bring Mick in here in between rounds.
Mick in quick.
Mick's not the biggest UFC guy, but Mick, I know you've got one of the hardest heads. I've seen it firsthand. You've got one of the hardest heads out there. Like you would have been a good boxer. You really would have been, because we know you could eat a shot. You know, so you know what I'm saying. You just go boom, boom, like you're coming back. Exactly. Did you ever box at all, Mick? And when you were a youth, you ever box?
Just a little bit of Aussie footy training. We kind of punch the speed ball and stuff. Good for your reflexes, right? Quickens up your arms. Yes. You need quick arms in Aussie football, absolutely. But yeah, the days of yesteryear when you see a good pub fight and you could smack someone in the head, but you can't do that now, even though some people deserve it.
What do you, Mick, were you there last night? Were you there last night? I mean, describe.
Yeah, he's there. He's been there for all 22 of them.
Mick, maybe don't go to it. Mick, seriously.
Not my fault. How can you blame me? The girlfriend actually said they were going to win, and she came, and I was shocked. But yeah, that we nearly did, but same old story.
So your girlfriend walked out 2 weeks ago, right? She stormed out halfway through the game and left. Last night was a real heartbreaker, but not really in the sense. If anything, it was more frustrating to see that, listen, Trey Ford should have been playing weeks ago, like a long time ago. So if anything, you see, that was the best that they looked. Trey Ford is good. If they just let this kid play, he'll get better, and you'll eventually win a football game. Me and Dave were saying earlier, they're going to win a home game this year, as long as Trey Ford plays.
Yeah. Well, I think they got Red Blacks at home next, so surely that's the one. But
that's the one.
A segment of you and I talking about Trey Ford last year, mate. He really is an athlete. He ran for a touchdown. He threw pretty good. And I'm not sure Chris Jones wouldn't play him weeks ago, but finally they got rid of the OC and things happened. Like they even ran the ball last night. Kevin Brown ran. He hasn't run too good all year. But, hey, isn't Chris Jones the defense guru? No, they still put up a lot of points, the Bombers, but they got some great wide receivers. But they did it with their backup quarterback. So, rip the heart out to the Elks fans, mate. It's unbelievable.
There's one more game left on the board, Mick, tonight. Well. Sean Payton makes his debut with the Denver Broncos tonight in the desert against the Arizona Cardinals. And, Dave, you got to love the power of the hype. Broncos -6 right now.
What are you laughing at, Nick? What are you laughing
at? I'm taking Arizona.
Well, yeah, we could only be -6 against that team. But honestly, NFL preseason, the only team I can watch is my team. It's terrible. It really is. I know you bet on it, and you do very well, Gabe. I don't know how you can bet on it because how do you know who's playing for how long? But I know you do well. But no, I like watching my team and see which young kids might get a game. But so many of them get cut anyway, right?
Now the Ravens have won so much, everyone's on the bandwagon, but it's only -200 on the money line. 23 consecutive games in a row, Mick. The Baltimore Ravens have won in the preseason. 23 in a row. They haven't lost a preseason game since 2015.
Wow. I know. You look at all the statistics on which teams win and lose in the preseason. Sure,
that's
facts
good. And stats. Good.
But really, you have no idea who's going to play and who's going to win. Good, you're better off to save your money for later on tonight with the AFL game and the World Cup soccer.
Oh, yeah, because that's a predictable league.
It's all happening.
AFL, every game comes down to the last, like you're sweating out some kick at the end.
At least you know who's playing compared to the NFL preseason rubbish.
I have to understand the rules a little bit better because I don't know why they just stop and kick the ball. But I was up late and I was watching it. And I was like, this is actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I found it. It was on and everybody was sleeping because I was trying to stay up.
It's entertaining. It is actually an entertaining game.
Very entertaining. 100%. If you haven't watched it, it's not just, Gabe and Mick talking about this. It's a good product. I just need to learn the rules because
Yeah.
If
I
you
can't
catch
explain
it in
his
the
mind.
air without the ball bouncing, they got to give you some space after. It's the best way of describing it.
Oh, that's
You know what I
gotta
mean?
back up.
Yeah. So if like you pass
Oh.
it, like you boot it through the air and Buddy catches it, it's your ball from that spot. If it
Yeah.
bounces, that's when you get that total chaos, just where it's like, well, whatever. It's just a fight for the
Yeah, it
ball.
looked like they were gonna beat the crap out of each other sometimes, and
Yeah,
then other
it's fun.
times they stop like gentlemen. Like I said, I don't understand when they can hit them and when they can't.
Yeah.
All right.
Aussie no rules, some people call it.
No, there's rules. It's kind of chaotic and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
Like,
of course.
you know what? It's sort of hard to describe to people, but it is and it isn't. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's sort of like rugby, football. You know what I mean? Sort of, there's a lot of things sort of like combined into one. Yeah, Sanchez is about to win this fight. All right, we got Mick Aussie with us. So, Mick, so for the record right now, the Montreal Alouettes are looking good. Defensive they're just doing their thing right now. Let's just keep this low scoring, though. They're doing their thing. It's 14-3 for the Alouettes. The total is exactly what it was before the game started, 44.5. The Alouettes are currently minus 13.5 point favorites. So, Mick, tomorrow I'm actually going to, and happy birthday to Dave tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
It's tomorrow, right? Not today. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Gabe's birthday was yesterday. Nick,
Wow.
happy birthday to Gabe, and then I'm tomorrow. August birthday.
Wow. That's awesome.
In the same year, literally. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't do anything special yesterday. I did all the shows and stuff. It was, business
Same
as usual. But
business.
tomorrow is my birthday. Little mini celebration, or it's not celebration. I'm going to the BC Lion and Calgary Stampeder game tomorrow. And that game, Dave, is on CBS Sports Network.
Birthday bets, Gabriel. Mick.
Love the over of the game.
Landslide, no?
I'm a little worried. You
What?
say, oh yeah, Mick? You think BC are going to kill him?
I think so. I believe Vernon Adams Jr. might be back. And even though the Stampeders beat the Argos with Kelly injured, Jake Meyer still didn't play that well. Didn't throw for that many yards, 149 yards. So the Stamps, they're okay. But no, I think the BC will cover. And then the Argos should win against the Red Blacks. 10's a fair bit, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Dave. It's at 4 o'clock our time. Like I said, CBS Sports Network will have the game. There's going to be points in this game. BC are going to score. Calgary put some points on the board. BC probably cover. But, I'm thinking this game, 30-22 type thing. I think it'll be competitive, right? It'll get into the 50s. The BC teaser to the over is great. I said it all week. I like the Winnipeg, Montreal, BC moneyline parlay at plus 134.
Yes.
And then you got the Red Blacks and Argos. So what's your pick, Mick, for Sunday's game? Red Blacks, Argos.
Oh, Argos will win, but how good's Chad Kelly? I believe he's going to play, I think. But Red Blacks might cover. 10's a fair bit, isn't it? Hard to tell, though. Take the Argos to win it, for sure.
I think the Red Blacks will cover, actually. I think it's too many points.
Yeah.
Battle of Ontario.
Under?
Yeah.
Rivalry game.
47.
No, there'll probably be points, Dave. There'll probably be points.
Okay.
I can see some explosive plays given up by both teams. I'm going to like the over there. And in fact, I believe Cam Stewart is going to be at that game. He said he was going. We'll see if he actually does. He said, I believe he said earlier in the week, he said he was going to the game on Sunday.
Do they play the same place the Blue Jays play? No,
they used to. But they play in the same place that TFC, the MLS team, plays.
Oh, so it's outdoors.
Yeah, it's cooler. Like the Blue Jay Stadium was too big for them.
Right. Yeah.
Like you had 20,000 people in a 55,000 seat stadium. It didn't have that. Right now you have like a 35,000 seat stadium, and they don't draw. They're not one of the better draws, but their attendance has been a little better now. Okay, Mick. So before we get you out of here, AFL football. How many rounds are left now before the playoffs? Like what, 2?
3 rounds left, mate.
3?
And there's like 12, 13 teams that can still make the final 8. So really, really important. And this week, some will dive and be out of the running if they lose, but really, really close. So many teams can make it. And once the final 8 settled, the top teams are going a bit rough. So anyone in the 8 could pull off the grand final and win it all this year.
It's me and Dave Sherapen's nemesis playing tonight. Sydney Swans take on Gold Coast tonight. Sydney are minus 22.5. What? Here they are. Look at it. They're surf boys there, Dave. Huh? See? They're surf boys from Sydney.
The name is really starting to annoy me, let alone this. Every time they show one of the guys in the picture, it just looks like he's smiling like, yeah, I'm going to get you again. I'm going to get you
I don't
again.
know why I'm so bothered by that loss like 4 months ago, but I just will never forget. I was having a bad week that week, betting-wise. Dave, it was one of those. It was like, finally, we're about to win. I had like 850. I put a lot on the parlay. I was like, you got to be kidding me. They just blew a 30-point lead. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like,
yeah. I woke up to it. I thought I won. I went to sleep because they were up.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was like, wait, that lost?
I had some drinks that night, too. I was mad. I started berating Joe and our boy Dubsy. I'm like, your Swans are a bunch of, like, I started effing this. F the Swans. I'll never bet on them again. They suck. Like, I was going off on the Swans all night. Still spiteful. Okay, Mick, so all kidding aside, North Melbourne and Essendon and Sydney and Gold Coast tonight. What are the picks?
Yeah, look, Sydney will win. They're in 10th spot, so they got to keep winning, but they still might miss out. They'll win. Suns are better now with their new coach. Take the Swans on the money line or take them 1-39 because that 22, that's tough. And the Bombers are going rough, but they'll beat North Melbourne. But Cunnington's retiring, one of the legends at the Roos, so that might get the Roos a bit better. Take the Bombers to win, maybe the Roos cover.
All right, before we get you out of here, Brisbane and Adelaide, your Crows. We got Carlton, Melbourne, West Coast. My Eagles take on the Dockers, Hawthorn Hawks, Western Bulldogs. What do you like tomorrow?
Oh, look, the Brisbane Lions are so good at home, 9-0 this year, but the Crows are doing well, so the Crows are a chance. Lions will probably win. Take the Crows on the plus if you want to have a roughie. I think the Demons will beat the Blues, but both teams are on great winning streaks. And the West Coast Eagles, the battle over there in Perth, the derby, the Dockers will beat your Eagles. Eagles will finish bottom, unfortunately.
Mick Aussie. And Mick, we've got the Women's World Cup continuing in Australia as well. And speaking of which, the Inter-Miami game is off and running. Man, there's a lot of action going on tonight. Still scoreless, 8 minutes into the game right now, guys. Just for the record. When do the Matildas play, Mick? They got to be playing soon. I'm trying to find this here. I got too many pages.
Yeah, that's at the same time as the Crows and the Lions. So about midnight your time, probably. But Sam Kerr, she's back. Yeah. She's a star, plays for Chelsea. She's been out with a calf muscle. She played the last 10 minutes. So the Aussie media say how wonderful she is, one of the best players. So she's back. But France will be favourite. But massive ratings in Australia when the Matildas play. It's unbelievable how many people are watching them.
Yeah, Australia tonight, as you stated, midnight Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Australia versus France in the Women's World Cup in Australia. Plus 260. Australia, draw plus 210. France, plus 120. Great stuff, Mick. Thanks for stepping up and joining us tonight. Enjoy the games this week. Go Elks.
Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. See you later, guys.
Get a Trey Ford jersey. Let's go.
Both of you.
Thank you. Fun stuff with Mick.